Alright, I'm making this video. What it is, there's been some type of shocking happening throughout all these years. I was born February 19th, 1999. Today's supposed to be February 5th, 2026. I'm 26 years old. February 19th, 2026 is going to be my birthday. That's on a Thursday. I'll be 27. So that's a horror year. Horror. And I voted for Donald Trump. Then somebody could think to say, well, that doesn't make any sense. Now the stuff's going to be for complete insanity. If anything goes on, it's just going to be complete insanity. But it's to say that. But now the TVs will be back on, and it'll be television terrorism, and people's going to be extremely sexual. Then I say, oh, I'm a lesbian, or I like girls. Then I feel for things to think that's true. But everybody's just on the phone thing out here. So now if anything negative, it's just going to be complete racism only. There will be people that are going to be turned into horrible racism people. Right? And Donald Trump's supposed to be president. That means that's supposed to be that man's supposed to be racism president. A man that's for racism. Right? And then I could say, right, that they said, or it's been shown that, oh, white people don't like black people. They call black people nigger and nigger bitch. Right? And then they've had all the rap music. And then everybody say nigga, nigga, nigga. Then all the white people say, oh, why do they say nigger or nigga? They saying that to each other. But then they think, they act like, oh, it's so fun or whatever. But they just like the song. Then they say, oh, who cares? Everybody listen to every song. Then they had the Black Lives Matter. Now they done said ban the phones at the school. Then they just said, oh, every screen matters. Now what it is, black people is finna be racist and have racism people things, and there's gonna be called, or there's gonna be livestock ranches. So black people have livestock ranches. But what it is, even if anybody didn't believe me, I don't have to think about it, because everybody has their own hand and their own arm. Everybody got their own vocal cord. Everybody got their own eyeballs. Right, but everything's been off the phone. If somebody smoked weed to be in an attitude like, oh, sick, oh, lot, oh, top, beep. You think that's true? Then even still, I could just think, wow, whatever I said sounds shocking. Hopefully it ain't nothing negative. But I just think for one of the most, for horrorous things, is if it would just be complete racism. Then if somebody don't like somebody, that would mean whatever person thing would be like one of the horrible ass racism people for horror. Now, if it's anything negative, people are just going to be turning into horrible ass racism people things. But they have everybody just be on the phone. And if somebody don't say something like, oh yeah, oh, I don't know if that's true or not. Or if some people would think somebody have to talk like that if they wear whatever specific shirts or something, or whatever clothes. But I don't know, this shit is too shocking now. Right, but there's been people like driving around here and they's not from out of here. Something has done happened. What the hell do you think's gonna go on? What it is now, I think this stuff's gonna be bad. No. Look. Now I done turned the brightness up on my phone. What it is now, forget about it. Now I could just think, wow, everything I said sounds so shocking. Is any of it true? But even still, is the Donald Trump man supposed to be the president? Does that matter or not? Then I'm black. I voted for the Donald Trump man. Somebody could say that doesn't make any sense. Then I've been having marijuana and I've been feeling insane. Right, I've been going like insane. But if somebody had a vapes, somebody could go insane. But what it is now, my name is MoneyGod666. I've been playing PUBG. And I just think if anything's negative, it would just be complete racism. And where people would turn into horrible ass racism people for horror. And they wouldn't be able, they would go insane horrible if they seen anybody really that's living in a high skin color. And the people for the racism, they wouldn't even be a color. So they would be upset, but they want to hang out, but then they go and say horrible. They would have horrible like reaction problems. That's why they've been showing that Stitch thing. Some for that shit is for horror. But what it is now, people's going to come back out living and everything, and it's going to be so shocking. That's what I'm trying to say. Now everything will be shocking. But I keep saying, there's been times I've been saying a lot of all this. Then I say, if one of the most for horrorest things could just be if it was just complete racism only, then I could think that seemed like too shocking. Then I could think, oh, would nobody want to think for that? Could that be too horrible? That's why the racism is for one of the most horrorest things that might ever happen, ever. If it was racism. But now, if it's any people negative out here for how like the stuff's been and they driving around or whatever, now I just look at anybody, if I think negative, I'll think they'll turn into a horrible ass racism person thing for horror. Right then there was whatever like guy dude thing that rode whatever bike thing, they's gonna be turned into a horrible ass racism dude. They's not finna be living. So I don't know, but they got the stuff set like top. So if somebody like have a phone or whatever, they gotta like act like that or whatever. Or do like blah blah blah. But what it is, anybody could do that. But there might be people that's out that ain't normal at all, and they might act like that. I don't know. There's been just horrible happenings. So then I think for that bitch thing that's supposed to be a manager at the school, that bitch was supposed to be a manager at the elementary school to do up the food for the whole school. Breakfast and lunch. Then that bitch was talking to me and said that the bitch, when the bitch see breakfast food, the bitch start crying or whatever. Or the bitch can't go into like whatever fucking restaurant place things or whatever. Because it'll make the bitch to start crying. If the bitch see breakfast food, what the hell sense did that shit make? Then I went out to the Little Caesars. Then there was this guy man dude thingy. I said, oh God. Then I went in and got the Little Caesars or whatever. Oh my God. And then I came out. And then the man said, ooh, who would want to eat Little Caesars? The man said, ooh, who would want to eat Little Caesars? Then the man guy dude thing, he said, oh, they don't really like Little Caesars. What the hell? Right? And then they've had like all whatever guy dudes just be in the cars. And then every time I go in Walmart, there's whatever guy dude thing around. Right? Then whatever neighbor people that's in whatever house things, I done said they's going to turn to horrible ass racism people. But what it is, if anybody ever seen this video, I think if anybody think negative about me, they would turn into a horrible ass racism person for horror. And they get eaten up and put in a microwave. And get put in a blender. And get put on a roaster. Right to Donald Trump, I voted for Donald Trump. So now, if somebody look at this video and think negative, they's gonna turn into a horrible ass racism thingy. For horror. For the racism people to get eaten up. And it's gonna be racism ranches out here called livestock ranch. Livestock ranches. So, everything I said sounds shocking, but if somebody think negative, they's gonna turn into a horrible ass racism thing. And it's Black History Month. I'll be 27 on February 19th. That's it.